Okay, it's recording.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, February 8th. I'm Steve Ward, Mayor Pro Tem. I'll be leading today's mayor-manager meeting. The mayor is present, but is having some technical difficulties. With us in the room is Sarah Harkness, Assistant City Clerk, Shawn Lewis, City Manager, Tamara Niles, City Attorney, and Tim Dodd, Deputy City Manager. Did I get that title right?
Yes.
All right. Shawn, you have the floor.
Thank you. We'll start with February 11th, study session on joint planning session with Inglewood City Council members, Downtown Development Authority, board members, and L&R partner representatives. This is the Saturday meeting. Any questions on that? Moving on to February 13th, we have a placeholder for no meeting the night of February 13th due to Saturday meeting on the 11th. And then February 21st, we'll have an annual proclamation discussion, a resolution support for ground lease agreement between Inglewood McClellan Reservoir Foundation and Integrity Motors Ltd. We'll also have Bates Logan enhancement discussion, renewal of contract for services with USIC Locating Services LLC, contract for services with CNL Water Solutions for valve replacement, electric grounding facilities, easement at Bellevue, min scope of IGA with Arapahoe County, cities of Littleton, Sheridan for implementation of the Tri-Cities Homelessness Plan of Action. And then we'll have the South Broadway Hawk Signal IGA and the short-term rental ordinance revisions. So can we go back up and just make sure we've got the all times? It looks like we need a discussion time on the proclamation.
I think 15 minutes.
Sounds good. And is this our only, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have another delay there. Did you all want to keep the meeting at 6?
That would be my preference. I think consistency is important for the public.
Okay. All right, looks like everything else, we've got consent. We do have a question on consent for renewal of contract services with USIC for locating services. This has been approved by the Water and Sewer Board. It's to locate. Yeah.
What's the contract amount? I think we can put that on consent, see if it flies.
It's 159 up to 175, looks like. And then we also have a contract services, the CNL, the valve replacement. This one's quite large, but we're going to be able to do, I think it's 15 or 20 something valves.
Yeah, let's leave that one off consent. I think there might be some questions just on the project itself. Okay.
And then we have first reading of the IGA with Tri-Cities to amend that contract. Today, we're moving into a different phase of the action plan, so there are some additional costs on that.
Definitely need a briefing on that, so not consent.
Okay, and then looks like the Hawk signal. That's an IGA with CDOT for $394,000 for a new safety feature at the pedestrian crossing in downtown.
And I think that would be a good one for us to discuss as well.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to note too that we do have several second readings that haven't been exported to this list yet. The person who normally does that is out sick, but just so you're aware, they're there. They will be there.
Got it. Thank you. All right, moving on to February 27th, we have a study session, well, all study sessions. The first one being review and discuss remaining Unified Development Code revisions, January 2023 monthly financial report, sustainability and the strategic plan, media procedures for communications police, and Inglewood McClellan Reservoir Foundation properties. Do you all want to add times on these right quick? Or hold off?
Mayor, I'll defer to you on that one.
Let's hold off since I'm having trouble seeing the screen.
Okay. Moving on to March 6th, we have public hearing for PUD at 1314 West Oxford. Also on March 6th, public hearing for major subdivision. And following will be strategic plan updates and the Broken T golf cart fleet. I believe this is purchasing, yep. And then an IGA with City of Littleton for dispatch all health mobile response unit. Any questions on those?
This is something we had a question for Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem, if you wanted to have those three. I know that there was some back and forth about whether or not to just keep it a public hearing. So these were requested, so I just figured it would be good for you guys to decide if you want to keep them on or if you want us to move the two motions in the bill for an ordinance first reading to another date. We can go either way.
So
I
golf
know-
cart says not flexible.
Yeah, that is I can talk to them if you guys if you want to move, I can talk to them and see. I mean, worst case, we could just have one on there. But it's definitely up to you guys.
What I was gonna say is like, obviously the concern is that it's gonna be a very late night with the PUD, so the preference would be to have as few items as possible. Anything that can't be moved, I guess we will have to just keep on the agenda, but just don't want a situation like we had on the 17th where we punted items and
Yes.
yeah, so that's just my concern, but I am aware that this could be a very long night, so would prefer to have as little
Okay.
items as possible.
I'll see what I think two of them can move. So I'll reach out to all three and see if there's flexibility with that one
Yeah, and I
item.
agree. I just don't think that we're going to do our best work after that public hearing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
All right. Moving on to March 13th, you have an IGA with, Congressman Crow discussion with City Council. That will be the kind of kickoff to the meeting. Then we'll have a housing discussion with regard to housing strategies. You can see we put your feedback from Monday night quickly on the agenda. Still on March 13th, city ditch piping project update, and then utilities construction manager, general contractor contracting process and approach. Any questions there? Moving on to March 20th, we have board and commission member appointment recognition, Big Dry Creek diversion project construction manager, general contractor motion, city ditch piping project construction manager, general contractor, first reading of a PUD regarding Sam's Automotive, first reading of a major subdivision for 1314 West Oxford, Sam's Automotive. And last but not least, code cleanup, adding wine to the fermented malt beverage license, first reading. Moving on, March 27th, we have presentation by Arapahoe County representatives regarding Arapahoe County Regional Opioid Council. Presentation 5, Phase 2, City Charter Review Project, and then the February monthly financial report. On April 3rd, draft electric vehicle action plan and ordinance approving Comcast cable TV franchise. April 17th, elevate Inglewood graduation, adoption of electric vehicle action plan. April 24th, administrative study results, charges for the enterprise funds. Sixth and final presentation, phase 2, charter review, and monthly financial report for March. Any questions on any of these?
Not for me.
That takes us to May. We have a lot of, any other questions on agenda?
Not for me, Shawn.
We have a number of items. I think the study sessions have all been I actually put in, except for the non-enterprise fund capital project prioritization, and we are working on that, and I've talked to Chelsea about that. That was her request. In terms of council requests, Woodward, can staff reach out to Waste Management to ask their customer service reps to discontinue telling Inglewood residents that the city does not allow alley pickup? Woodward Waste Management appears to operate 7 days a week in violation of code. Can EPD enforce code provisions regarding day of the week regulations for trash haulers? Russell, have we had responses to our request of new trash haulers to operate in the city? Russell, how much Section 8 housing is available in Inglewood? Noonan Camp, can staff provide council with options for all councils, town hall or coffee with council styled meeting? Ward 5000 South Huron is located in R1 and is being reported as having been converted to a duplex recently. Is this correct? And if so, what enforcement actions can or have been taken to ensure compliance? Russell, please provide council with the attendance records for Planning and Zoning Commission members at Code Next steering committees. And that's what I have for Monday.
That all sounds familiar to me.
Same here.
All right. I think that's all staff has.
Because we only have one study session on at the next scheduled meeting, we could present a couple of different study sessions just to fill that time that I think would be helpful. The July and December meeting schedules, we talked about following the same schedule we did last year, which was cancel the first 2 meetings in July and the last 2 meetings in December. However, I think we may need more consideration and discussion of that because July is a 5 Monday month. And so we could potentially still have 3 meetings if we met on the 5th Friday, or I'm sorry, 5th Monday. And we could also consider the deadlines for setting our ballot questions because we generally adopt those in July. Also, not December, but January is a 5 Monday month and January 1 falls on a Monday. So we can't meet January 1 instead. So I thought council may want a discussion instead of the last 2 weeks of December. Do we want to not meet the last week of December and the first week of January 2024? Because those are the technical holiday weeks. I think it merits a discussion. I think it would be a pretty quick presentation during a study session and then a discussion after that.
Yeah, I'd be fine discussing that.
Okay, then we
Actually,
can
one council member did reach out to me about that. So yeah, it would be good to have it as a study session item.
Okay, then we can put that on for that study session slot. We also, there's been some discussion about judicial evaluations and what type of information council needs when it reappoints associate judges and considers compensation. We could present a study session on just the state judicial evaluation process. And I understand Aurora also has an evaluation process for its municipal judges. So we could present that just for information. And then also perhaps look at if across the country, if there are judicial evaluations of elected judges, just for background information. Also, there was some discussion of a victim compensation fund. We could also present an informational study session on what the state does through the district attorney through the victim compensation fund.
I think those discussions will probably be a little longer than squeezing them in on an extra. The first one sounds like we could get it done. The second one I'm supportive of, but I think that might be a longer discussion.
Okay. Are you interested in study sessions on those? Perhaps just not that meeting in February?
Yes.
Okay, then we're happy to go ahead and develop those and put them on the agenda, and then just do the meeting schedule for that open slot.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me, Tamara.
All right, anything else?
Nothing for me, Shawn.
I'm good.
Great.
All right. With that, it's about 8:46 and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone.